Hello and welcome back to Brendan Moir's Playwright Corner, where I read plays, poems, or whatever's currently striking my fancy at the moment. Today we're going to be starting off a bit of a cycle of plays by W.B. Yeats that I'm, for clarity's sake, calling the Cuchulainn cycle. All these plays are about the mythic figure of Irish mythology, Cuchulainn, and his life, his exploits, and his befallments. We're going to be starting today with At the Hawk's Well, and then going into The Green Helmet. Also, I would like to state that these two separate plays were recorded at different times, so I would ask for your forgiveness for any discrepancies in the quality between episodes. We're going to be reading these plays in stories chronological order rather than how W.B. Yeats wrote them through the years, so we're going to kick off this cycle of Cuchulainn with At the Hawk's Well, written in 1917. The persons in the play are three musicians, their faces made up to resemble masks, the guardian of the well, with face made up to resemble a mask, an old man and a young man, both wearing a mask. Time: the Irish heroic age. The stage is any bare space before a wall, against which stands a patterned screen. A drum, a gong, and a zither have been laid close to the screen before the play begins. If necessary, they can be carried in after the audience is seated by the first musician, who also can attend to the lights if there are any special lighting. We have 2 lanterns upon posts, designed by Mr. Dulac, at the outer corners of the stage, but they did not give enough light, and we found it better to play by the light of a large chandelier. Indeed, I think, so far as my present experience goes, that the most effective lighting is the lighting we are most accustomed to in our rooms. These masked players seem stranger when there is no mechanical means of separating them from us. The first musician carries with him a folded black cloth and goes to the center of the stage, towards the front, and stands motionless. The 2 other musicians enter and, after standing a moment at either side of the stage, go towards him and slowly unfold the cloth, singing as they do so. I called to the eye of the mind, a well long choked up and dry, and boughs long stripped by the wind, and I call to the mind's eye, pallor of an ivory face, its lofty dissolute air, a man climbing up to a place the salt sea wind has swept bare. As they unfold the cloth, they go backward a little, so that the stretched cloth and the wall make a triangle with the first musician at the apex, supporting the center of the cloth. On the black cloth is a gold pattern suggesting a hawk. The second and third musicians now slowly fold up the cloth again, pacing with the rhythmic movement of the arms towards the first musician and singing. What were his life soon done? Would he lose by that or win? A mother that saw her son doubled over a speckled shin, cross-grained with 90 years, would cry how little worth were all my hopes and fears, and the hard pains of his birth. The words "a speckled shin" are familiar to readers of Irish legendary stories, in descriptions of old men bent double over the fire. While the cloth has been spread out, the guardian of the well has entered and is now crouching upon the ground. She is entirely covered by a black cloak. Beside her lies a square blue cloth to represent a well. The 3 musicians have taken their places against the wall, beside their instrument of music. They will accompany the movements of the players with gong or drum or zither. First musician, singing. Boughs of the hazel shake, the sun goes down in the west. Second musician. The heart will be always awake, the heart would turn to its rest. They now go to one side of the stage, rolling up the cloth. First musician, speaking. Night falls. The mountainside grows dark. The withered leaves of the hazel half choke the dry bed of the well. The guardian of the well is sitting upon the old grey stone at its side. worn out from raking its dry bed, worn out from gathering up the leaves. Her heavy eyes know nothing, or but look upon stone. The wind that blows out of the sea turns over the heaped up leaves at her side. They rustle and diminish. Second musician. I am afraid of this place. Both musicians. Why should I sleep, the heart cries, for the wind, the salt wind, the sea wind, is beating a cloud through the sky. I would wander always like the wind. An old man enters through the audience. First musician, speaking. That old man climbs up hither, who has been watching by his well these 50 years. He is all doubled up with age. The old thorn trees are doubled so, among the rocks where he is climbing. The old man stands for a moment motionless by the side of the stage with bowed head. He lifts his head at the sound of a drum tap. He goes towards the front of the stage, moving to the taps of the drum. He crouches and moves his hand as if making a fire. His movements, like those of the other persons of the play, suggest a marionette. First musician, speaking. He has made a little heap of leaves. He lays the dry sticks on the leaves, and, shivering with cold, he has taken up the fire stick and socket from its hole. He whirls it round to get a flame, and now the dry sticks take the fire. And now the fire leaps up and shines upon the hazels and the empty well. Musician singing. O wind, O salt wind, O sea wind, cries the heart, it is time to sleep. Why wander and nothing to find? Better grow old and sleep. Old man, speaking. Why don't you speak to me? Why don't you say, are you not weary gathering those sticks? Are not your fingers cold? You have not one word, while yesterday you spoke 3 times. You said, the well is full of hazel leaves. You said, the wind is from the west. And after that, if there is rain, it's likely there'll be mud. Today you are as stupid as a fish. No, worse, being less lively and as dumb. He goes nearer. Your eyes are dazed and heavy. If the she must have a guardian to clean out the well and drive the cattle off, they might choose somebody that can be pleasant and companionable once in the day. Why do you stare like that? You had that glassy look about the eyes last time it happened. Do you know anything? It is enough to drive an old man crazy. To look all day upon these broken rocks and ragged thorns and that one stupid face, and speak, and get no answer. Young man, who has entered through the audience during the last speech. And speak to me. That youth is not more patient than old age. And though I have trod the rocks for half a day, I cannot find what I am looking for. Old man, who speaks? Who comes so suddenly into this place where nothing thrives? If I may judge by the gold on head and feet, and glittering in your coat, you are not of those who hate the living world. Young man, I am named Cuchulainn. I am Sualtman's son. I have never heard that name. It is not unknown. I have an ancient house beyond the sea. What mischief brings you hither? You are like those who are crazy for the shedding of men's blood, and for the love of women. A rumor has led me. A story told over the wine towards dawn. I rose from table, found a boat, spread sail, and with a lucky wind under the sail, crossed waves that seemed charmed, and found this shore. Old man, there is no house to sack among these hills, nor beautiful woman to be carried off. You should be native here, for that rough tongue matches the barbarous spot. You can, it may be, lead me to what I seek. A well wherein 3 hazel drops their nuts and wither leaves, and where a solitary girl keeps watch among grey boulders. He who drinks, they say, of that miraculous water lives forever. And are there not before your eyes at the instant grey boulders, and a solitary girl and 3 stripped hazels? But there is no well. See but a hole among stones half full of leaves. And do you think so great a gift is found by no more toil than spreading out a sail and climbing up a steep hill? Oh, folly of youth, why should that hollow place fill up for you that will not fill for me? I have lain in wait for more than 50 years to find it empty, or but to find the stupid wind of the sea drive round the perishable leaves. So it seems there's some moment when the water fills it. A secret monument that the holy shades that dance upon the desolate mountains know, and not a living man. And when it comes, the water has scarce plashed before it is gone. I will stand here and wait. Why should the luck of Swaltam's son desert him now? I never have long to wait for anything. No! Go from this accursed place. This place belongs to me, that girl there, and those others, deceivers of men. And who are you to rail upon those dances that all others bless? I came like you, when young in body and in mind, and blown by what seemed to me a lucky sail. The well was dry. I sat upon its edge. I waited the miraculous flood. I waited while the years passed and withered me away. I have snared the birds for food and eaten grass and drunk the rain, and neither in dark nor shine wandered too far away to have heard the plash. And yet the dancers have deceived me. Thrice I have awakened from a sudden sleep to find the stones were wet. It will not leave me waiting, nor will they that dance among the stones put me asleep. If I grow drowsy, I can pierce my foot. No, do not pierce it, for the foot is tender. It feels pain much. But find your sail again, and leave the well to me, for it belongs to all that's old and withered. No, I stay. The guardian of the well gives the cry of the hawk. That is that bird again. There is no bird. It sounded like the sudden cry of a hawk. But there's no wing in sight. As I came hither, a great grey hawk swept out of the sky. And though I have good hawks, the best in the world, I had fancied I have not seen its like. It flew as though it would have torn me with its beak, or blinded me, spiting me with that great wing. I had to draw my sword to drive it off, and after that it flew from rock to rock. I pelted it with stones a good half hour, and just before I had turned the big rock there and seen this place, it seemed to vanish away. The woman of the she herself, the mountain witch, the unappeasable shadow. She is always flitting upon this mountainside, to allure or to destroy. When she has shown herself to the fierce woman of the hills under that shape, they offer sacrifice and arm for battle. There falls a curse on all who have gazed in her unmoistened eyes. So get you gone while you have that proud step and confident voice, for not a man alive has so much luck that he can play with it. Those that have long to live should fear her most. The old are cursed already. That curse may be never to win a woman's love and keep it, or always to mix hatred in the love. Or it may be that she will kill your children, that you will find them, their throats torn and bloody, or you will be so mad that you kill them with your own hand. Have you been set down there to threaten all who come and scare them off? You seem as dried up as the leaves and sticks, as though you had no part in life. The guardian of the well gives hot cry again. That cry! There it is, that cry again. That woman made it. But why does she cry out as the hawk cries? It was her mouth. And yet not she that cried. It was that shadow cried behind her mouth. And now I know why she has been so stupid all the day through and had such heavy eyes. Look at her shivering now. The terrible life is slipping through her veins. She is possessed. Who knows whom she will murder or betray before she awakens in ignorance of it all and gathers up the leaves? But they'll be wet. The water will have to come and gone again. That shivering is a sign. Oh, get you gone at any moment now. I shall hear it bubble. If you are good, you will leave it. I am old, and if I do not drink it now, will never. I've been watching all my life, and only maybe a little cupful will bubble up. I'll take it in my hands. We shall both drink. And even if there are but a few drops, share them, but swear that I may drink the first. The young are greedy, and if you drink the first, you'll drink it all. Ah, you've looked at her. She has felt your gaze and turned her eyes on us. I cannot bear her eyes. They are not of this world, nor moist, nor faltering. They are no girl's eyes. He covers his head. The guardian of the well throws off her cloak and rises. Her dress underneath the cloak suggests a hawk. Young man. Why do you fix those eyes of a hawk upon me? I am not afraid of you, bird, woman, or witch. Do what you will. I shall not leave this place till I've grown immortal like yourself. He has sat down. The guardian of the well has begun to dance, moving like a hawk. The old man sleeps. The dance goes on for some time. First musician, singing or half singing. Oh God, protect me from a horrible, deathless body sliding through the veins of a sudden. First musician, speaking. The madness has laid hold upon him now, for he grows pale and staggers to his feet. The dance goes on. Young man. Run where you will, grey bird. You shall be perched upon my wrist. Some were called queens, and yet have been perched there. The dance goes on. First musician, speaking. I've heard water plash. It comes. It comes. Look where it glitters. He has heard the plash. Look. He has turned his head. The guardian of the well has gone out. The young man drops his spear as if in a dream, and goes out. Musicians singing. He is lost what may not be found, till men heap his burial mound, and all the history ends. He might have lived at his ease, an old dog's head on his knees, among his children and his friends. The old man creeps up to the well. The accursed shadows have deluded me. The stones are dark, and yet the well is empty. The water flowed and emptied while I slept. You have deluded me my whole life through. Accursed dancers, you have stolen my life. That there should be such evil in a shadow. Young man entering. She has fled from me, and hidden in the rocks. She has but led you from the fountain. Look! Those stones and leaves are dark where it has flowed. There is not a drop to drink. The musicians cry, Aoife, Aoife, and strike gong. Young man. What are those cries? What is that sound that runs along the hill? Who are they that beat a sword upon a shield? She has roused up the fierce women of the hills, Aoife, and all her troop to take your life. And never till you are lying in the earth can you know rest. Clash of arms again. Oh, do not go. The mountain is accursed. Stay with me. I have nothing more to lose. I do not now deceive you. I will face them. He goes out, no longer as if in a dream, but shouldering his spear and calling, He comes! Cuchulainn, son of Swaltam, comes! The musicians stand up. One goes to center with folded cloth. The others unfold it. While they do so, they sing. During the singing, and while hidden by the cloth, the old man goes out. When the play is performed with Mr. Duloc's music, the musicians do not rise or unfold the cloth till after they have sung the words, A Bitter Life. Songs for the unfolding and folding of the cloth. Come to me, human faces, familiar memories. I have found hateful eyes among the desolate places, unfaltering, unmoistened eyes. Folly alone I cherish. I choose it for my share. Being but a mouthful of air, I am content to perish. I am but a mouthful of sweet air. O lamentable shadows, obscurity of strife, I choose a pleasant life among indolent meadows. Wisdom must live a bitter life. They then fold up the cloth, singing. The man that I praise cries out the empty well, lives all his days where a hand on the bell can call the milk cows to the comfortable door of his house. Who but an idiot would praise dry stones in a well? The man that I praise cries out the leafless tree, has married and stays by an old hearth, and he on naught has set store but children and dogs on the floor. Who but an idiot would praise a withered tree? They go out. The end.
And now, The Green Helmet, a heroic farce written in 1910. The persons of the play are Lara, Lara's wife, Conall, Conall's wife, Cuchulainn, Leg, Cuchulainn's chariot driver, Redman, a spirit, stable boys and scullions, Emer and black men, etc. A house made of logs. There are 2 windows at the back and a door which cuts off one of the corners of the room. Through the door one can see low rocks which make the ground outside higher than it is within, and beyond the rocks a misty moonlit sea. Through the windows one can see nothing but the sea. There is a great chair at the opposite side of the door, and in front of it a table with cups and a flagon of ale. Here there are stools. At the Abbey Theatre the house is orange-red and the chairs and tables and flagons black, with a slight purple tinge which is not clearly distinguishable from the black. The rocks are black with a few green touches. The sea is green and luminous, and all the characters except the red man and the black men are dressed in various shades of green, one or two with touches of purple which look nearly black. The black men all wear dark purple and have eared caps, and at the end their eyes should look green from the reflected light of the sea. The red man is altogether in red. He is very tall, and his height increased by horns on the green helmet. The effect is intentionally violent and startling. Lara. What is that? I had thought that I saw, though, but in the wink of an eye, a cat-headed man out of Connacht go pacing and spitting by. But that could not be.
Connell. You've dreamed it. There's nothing out there. I killed them all before daybreak. I hooked them out of their lair. I cut off 100 heads in a single stroke of my sword, and then I danced on their graves and carried away their hoard.
Lara. Does anything stir on the sea?
Connell. Not even a fish or a gull. I can see for a mile or two now that the moon is full.
A distant shout.
Lara.
Ah, there. There's someone who calls us.
Connell. But from the landward side. And we have nothing to fear that has not come up from the tide. The rocks and the bushes cover whomever made that noise, but the land will do us no harm.
It was like Cuchulainn's voice.
But that's an impossible thing. An impossible thing indeed. But he will never come home. He has all that he can need in that high, windy Scotland. Good luck and all that he does. Here neighbour wars on neighbour, and why there is no man knows, and if a man is lucky, all wish his luck away, and take his good name from him between a day and a day.
Lara. I would he'd come for all that, and make his young wife know that though she may be his wife, she has no right to go before your wife, and my wife as she would have done last night had they not caught her dress and pulled her as was right. And she makes light of us, though our wives do all they can. She spreads her tail like a peacock and praises none but her man. A man in a long green coat that covers him up to the chin comes down through the rocks and hazels. He must look for his dinner elsewhere. For no one alive shall stop where a shame must alight on us too before the dawn is up.
Lara.
No man on the ridge of the world must ever know that but us two.
Connell, outside door. Go away. Go away. Go away! Young man, outside door.
I will go when the night is through. And I've eaten and slept and drunk to my heart's delight.
Connell. A law has been made that none shall sleep in this house tonight.
Young man. Who made that law?
We made it. And who has so good a right? Who else has to keep the house from the shape changes till day?
Young man. Then I will unmake the law. So get you out of the way.
He pushes Connell and goes into the house.
Connell.
I thought no living man could have pushed me from the door. Nor could any living man do it but for the dip in the floor. And had I been rightly ready, there's no man living could do a dip or no dip.
Lara.
Go out. If you have your wits, go out. A stone's throw further on you will find a big house where our wives will give you supper, and you'll sleep sounder there, for it's a luckier house.
Young man. I'll eat and sleep where I will.
Go out, or I will make you.
Young man, forcing up Lara's arm, passing him, and putting his shield on the wall over the chair. Not until I have drunk my fill. But may some dog defend me, for a cat's a wonders up. Lara and Connell are here, the flagon full to the top, and the cups.
It is Cuchulainn.
The cups are as dry as a bone.
Connell. Go on to Scotland again. Or wherever you will, but be gone from this unlucky country that was made when the devil spat.
If I lived here 100 years, could a worse thing come than that Lara and Connell should know me, and bid me be gone to my face?
We bid you be gone from a house that has fallen on shame and disgrace.
I am losing patience, Connell. I find you stuffed with pride. The flagon full to the brim, the front door standing wide. You'd put me off with words, but the whole thing's plain enough. You are waiting for some message to bring you war or love in that old secret country beyond the white wool waves, or it may be down beneath them in foam-bewildered caves where 9 forsaken sea queens fling shuttles to and fro. But beyond them, or beneath them, whether you will or no, I am going to.
Lara.
Better tell it all out in the end. He was born to luck in the cradle. His good luck may mend the bad luck we were born to.
Connell. I'll lay the whole thing bare. You saw the luck that he had when he pushed me past there. You were gone but a little while. We were there and the ale cup full.
We were half drunk and merry, and midnight on the stroke, when a wide, high man came in with a red foxy cloak, and half-shut foxy eyes, and a great laughing mouth, and he said, when we bid him drink, that he had so great a draught, he could drink the sea. Cuchulainn. I thought he had come for one of you out of some Connaught wrath and would lap up milk and dew. But if he so loved water, I the tale or I. Connell. He would not be so merry if he was standing by. For when he had sung or danced, as he were our next of kin, he promised to show us a game, the best that ever had been. And when we had asked what game, he answered, Why, whip off my head. Then one of you two stoop down and I'll whip off his, he said. A head for a head, he said. That is the game that I play. Cuchulainn. How could he whip off a head when his own had been whipped away? Connell. We told him it over and over, and the ale had fuddled his wit. But he stood and laughed at us there, as though his sides would split, till I could stand no longer, and whipped off his head at a blow, being mad that he did not answer, and more at his laughing so. And then on the ground, when it fell, it went on laughing at me. Lara. Till he had took it up in his hands, Connell, and splashed himself into the sea. Cuchulainn. I have imagined as good when I have been deep in the cup. You never did. And believed it. Connell. Cuchulainn, when will you stop boasting of your great deeds and weighing yourself with us too, and crying out to the world whatever we say or do, that you've said or done a better? Nor is it a drunkard's tale, though we said to ourselves at first that it all came out of the ale, and thinking that if we told it, we should be a laughingstock, swore to keep it a secret. Lara. But 12 months upon the clock, a 12-month from the first time, and the jug full up to the brim, for we had been put from our drinking by the very thought of him. We stood as we are standing now, the horns were as empty, when he ran up out of the sea with his head on his shoulders again. Cuchulainn. Why, this is a tale worth telling. And he called for his debt and his right, and said that the land was disgraced because of us two from that night if we did not pay him his debt. Lara. What is there to be said when a man with a right to get it has come to ask for your head? Connell. If you had been sitting there, you had been silent like us. Lara. He said in 12 months more he would come again to this house, and ask his debt again. 12 months are up today. He would have followed after if we had run away. Connell. Will he tell every mother's son that we have broken our word? Cuchulainn. Whether he does or not, he'll drive him out with the sword, and take his life in the bargain if he but dare to scoff. Connell. How can you fight with a head that laughs when you've whipped it off? Lara. Or a man that can pick it up and carry it out on his hand. Connell. He's coming now. There's a splash and a rumble along the strand as when he came last. Cuchulainn. Come, and put all your backs to the door. A tall, red-headed, red-cloaked man stands upon the threshold against the misty green of the sea. The ground, higher without than within the house, makes him seem taller than he even is. He leans upon a great two-handed sword. Lara. It's too late to shut it, for there he stands once more and laughs like the sea. Cuchulainn. Old herring. You whip off heads? Why then whip off your own, for it seems you can clap it on again. Or else go down in the sea, I say. Find that old juggler Manannan and whip his head away. Or the red man of the Boyne, for they are of your own sort. Or if the waves have vexed you and you would find a sport of a more Irish fashion, go fight without arrest a caterwauling phantom among the winds of the west. What are you waiting for? Into the water, I say. If there's no sword can harm you, I have an older trick to play. An old five-fingered trick to tumble you out of the place. I am Sualtim's son, Cuchulainn. What? Do you laugh in my face? Red man. So you too think me in earnest in wagering pole for pole. A drinking joke and a gibe at a juggler's feet, that is all. To make the time go quickly. For I am the drinker's friend, the kindest of all shape-shifting changers from here to the world's end. The best of all tipsy companions. And now, I bring you a gift. I will lay it there on the ground for the best of you all to lift. He lays his helmet on the ground, and wear upon his own head, and choose for yourselves the best. Oh, Lara and Connell are brave, but they were afraid of my jest. Well, maybe I jest too grimly when the ale is in the cup. There. I'm forgiven now. Then, in a more solemn voice as he goes out, "Let the bravest take it up." Connell takes up helmet and gazes at it with delight. Lara, singing, with a swaggering stride, "There is the best between water and hill. He fought in the west with cat heads until at the break of day all fell by his sword, and he carried away their hidden hoard." He seizes the helmet. Connell, "Lara, that helmet is mine. For what did you find in the bag but the straw and the broken delf and the bits of dirty rag you'd taken for good money?" Cuchulainn, No, but give it to me." He takes helmet. "The helmet's mine or Lara's. You're the youngest of us three." Cuchulainn, filling helmet with ale, "I did not take it to keep it. The red man gave it for one. But I shall give it to all of us three, or to none. That is as you look upon it. We will pass it to and fro, and time about, drink out of it, and so stroke into peace this cat that has come to take our lives. Now it is purring again. And now I drink to your wives, and I drink to Emer, my wife." A great noise without, and shouting. "Why, what in God's name is that noise?" Connell, "What else but the charioteers in the kitchen and stable boys shouting against each other? And the worst of all is your chariot driver leg, and they'll keep it up till dawn. And there's not a man in the house that will close his eyes tonight or be able to keep them from it or know what set them to fight." A noise of horns without. "There, do you hear them now? Such hatred has for each. They have taken the hunting horns to drown the other's speech, for they fear the truth may prevail. Here's your good health and long life, and, though she be quarrelsome, good health to Emer, your wife." The charioteers, stable boys, and scullions come running in. They carry great horns and other instruments, ladles, and the like. Leg, "I am Leg, Cuchulainn's driver and my master's cock of the yard." Another charioteer, "Connell would scatter his feathers." Confused murmurs. Lara, "No use. They won't hear a word." Another charioteer, "It is Lara that is the best, for he fought with cats and connaughts while Connell took his rest and drained his ale pot." Another, "Lara, what does a man of his sort care for the like of us? He did for his own sport." Another, "It was all mere luck at the best." "But Connell, I say—" "Let me speak." Leg, "You be dumb if the cock of the yard would but open his beak. Before your cock was born, my master was in the fight." Leg, "Go home and praise your granddad. They took to the horns for spite, for I said no cock of your sort had been born since the fight began. Connell has got it. The best man has got it, and I am his man." Cuchulainn, "Who was it started this quarrel?" A stable boy, "It was Leg." Another, "It was Leg done it all." Leg, "A high, wide, foxy man came where we sat in the hall, getting our supper ready, with a great voice like the wind, and cried that there was a helmet, or something of the kind, that was for the foremost man upon the ridge of the earth. So I cried your name out in the hall." The others cry out and blow horns, partly drowning the rest of his speech. "But they denied its worth, and they cried to drown my voice. But I had so strong a throat that I drowned all their noise, till they took to the hunting horns and blew them in my face. And as neither side would give in, we would settle it in this place. Let the helmet be taken from Connell." A stable boy, "No, Connell is the best man here." Another, "Give it to Lara, that made the murderous cats pay dear." Cuchulainn, "It has been given to none, that our rivalry might cease. We have turned that murderous cat into a cup of peace. I drank the first, and then Connell. Give it to Lara now." Connell gives helmet to Lara, "that it may purr in his hand, and all of our servants know that, since the ale went in, its claws went out of sight." A servant, "That's well. I will stop my shouting." Another, "Cuchulainn is in the right. I'm tired of this bighorn that has made me hoarse as a rook." Lara, "Cuchulainn, you drank the first." Another, "By drinking the first he took the whole of the honours himself." Another, "If Lara drank from it now, he claims to be last and worst. Cuchulainn and Connell have drunk. He is lost if he takes a drop." Lara, laying helmet on table, "Did you claim to be better than us by drinking first from the cup?" Cuchulainn, his words are partly drowned by the murmurs of the crowd, though he speaks very loud. "That juggler from the sea, that old red herring it is who has set us all by the ears, he brought the helmet for this. And because he would not quarrel, he ran elsewhere to shout that Connell and Lara wronged me till all had fallen out." The murmur grows less so that his words are heard. Who knows where he is now or whom he is spurring to fight? So get you gone. And whatever may cry aloud in the night or show itself in the air, be silent until morn.
A servant. Cuchulainn is in the right. I'm tired of this bighorn. Cuchulainn.
Go!
The servants turn towards the house, but stop on hearing the voices of women outside. Lair's wife, without. Mine is better to look at. Connell's wife. But mine is better born. Emer, without. My man is the pithier man. Cuchulainn.
Old hurricane, well done. You've set our wives to the game that they may egg us on. We are to kill each other that you may sport with us. Now they begin to wrestle as to who will be first in the house.
The women come to the door, struggling. Emer. No, I have the right of place, for I married the better man. Connell's wife, pulling Emer back. My nails in your neck and shoulder. Lair's wife. And go before me as ye can. My husband fought in the west. Connell's wife, kneeling in the door so as to keep the others out who pull at her. But what did he fight with there but sidelong and spitting in helpless shadows of the dim air? And what did he carry away but straw and broken delf? Lair's wife. Your old man made up the tale, trembling alone by himself, drowning his terror. Emer, forcing herself in front. I am Emer, it is I go first through the door. No one shall stand before me or praise any man before my man has been praised. Cuchulainn, putting his spear across the door so as to close it.
Come, put an end to their quarrelling. One is as fair as the other, each one the wife of a king. Break down the painted walls, break them down to the floor. Our wives shall come in together, each one at her own door.
Lara and Connell begin to break down the walls. Their wives go each to the hole their husband is making. Emer stands at the door and sings. Some of those who carry musical instruments play an accompaniment. Emer. Nothing that he has done, his mind that is fire, his body that is the sun, have set my head higher than all the world's wives. Himself on the wind is the gift that he gives. Therefore womankind, when their eyes have met mine, grow cold and grow hot, troubled as with wine by a secret thought, preyed upon, fed upon by jealousy and desire. For I am moon to that sun, I am steel to that fire. Holes have been broken in the walls. Cuchulainn takes his spear from the door, and the three women come in at the same moment. Emer. Cuchulainn, put off this sloth and awake. I will sing till I have stiffened your lip up against every knave that would take a share of your honour. Lair's wife. You lie. For your man would take from my man. Connell's wife. To Lair's wife. You say that, you double-face, and your own husband began. Cuchulainn, taking up helmet from table.
Townland may rail at townland till all have gone to wrack. The very straws may wrangle till they've thrown down the stack. The very doorposts bicker till they've pulled in the door. The very ale jars jostle till the ale is on the floor. But this shall help no further.
He throws his helmet into the sea. Lair's wife. It was not for your head, and so you would let none wear it, but fling it away instead. Connell's wife. But you shall answer for it, for you've robbed my man by this. Connell. You have robbed us both, Cuchulainn. Lara. The greatest wrong there is on the wide ridge of the world has been done to us to this day. Emer, drawing her dagger. Who is for Cuchulainn?
Silence!
Who is for Cuchulainn, I say? She sings the same words as before, flourishing her dagger about. While she is singing, Connell's wife and Lara's wife draw their daggers and run at her, but Cuchulainn forces them back. Lara and Connell draw their swords to strike Cuchulainn. Lara's wife, crying out so as to be heard through Emer's singing. Deafen her singing with horns! Connell's wife, cry aloud, blow horns, make a noise! Lara's wife, blow horns, clap hands, or shout her, so that you smother her voice! The stable boys and scullions blow their horns or fight among themselves. There is a deafening noise and a confusing fight.
Suddenly, 3 black hands come through the windows and put out the torches. It is now pitch dark, but for a faint light outside the house which merely shows that there are moving forms, but not who or what they are. And in the darkness, one can hear low, terrified voices. A voice. "Coal black, and headed like cats, they came up over the strand." Another voice. "And I saw one stretch to a torch and cover it with his hand." Another voice. "Another sooty fellow has plucked the moon from the air." A light gradually comes into the house from the sea, on which the moon begins to show once more. There is no light within the house, and the great beams of the walls are dark and full of shadows, and the persons of the play dark too against the light. The red man is seen standing in the midst of the house. The black cat-headed men crouch and stand about the door. One carries the helmet, one the great sword. Red man. "I demand the debt that's owing. Let some man kneel down there, that I may cut his head off, or all shall go to rack." Cuchulainn. "He played, and paid with his head, and it's right that we pay him back, and give him more than he gave, for he comes here as a guest. So I will give him my head." Ymir begins to keen. Little wife, be at rest. Alive, I have been far off in all lands under the sun, and have been no faithful man. But when my story is done, my fame shall spring up and laugh, and set you high above all. Ymir, putting her arms around him. "It is you, not your fame that I love." Cuchulainn tries to put her from him. "You are young. You are wise. You can call some kinder and comelier man that will sit at home in house." Ymir. "Live, and be faithless still." Cuchulainn, throwing her from him. "Would you stay the great barnacle goose when its eyes are turned to the sea and its beak to the salt of the air?" Ymir, lifting her dagger to stab herself. "I, too, on the grey wing's path." Cuchulainn, seizing dagger. "Do you dare? Do you dare? Do you dare? Bear children, and sweep the house." Forcing his way through the servants who gather round. "Wail, but keep from the road." He kneels before the red man. "Quick to your work, old radish. You will fade when the cocks have crowed." A black cat-headed man holds out the helmet. The red man takes it. Red man. "I have come not for your hurt. I'm the rector of this land, and with my spitting cat heads, my frenzied moon-bred band, age after age I sift it, and choose for its championship the man who hits my fancy." He places the helmet on Cuchulainn's head. "And I choose the laughing lip that shall not turn from laughing whatever rise or fall. The heart that grows no bitterer, although betrayed by all. The hand that loves to scatter. The life like a gambler's throw. And these things I make prosper till a day come that I know, when heart and mind shall darken, that the weak may end the strong, and the long remembering harpers have matter for their song." The end. That was the end of the Green Helmet. I believe next in the myth of Cuchulainn we have On Bailey's Strand. So stay tuned for that, and I hope to have you back in Brendan Moir's Playwright Corner. Thank you.